Chief Moore, I'd like to begin by asking you to clarify something, a term that I'm not familiar with. What do you mean by big C versus little c cooperating agency?
Well, so, and it goes back to my experience from many years ago working with the county supervisors, county commissioners, wanting to have a say in what finally happens, in our documents. And there's a way to do that. And I think the way to do that is to have a collaborative process with our publics, in particular our elected officials. And so we think that it's imperative that they be included in what's going on in their part.
It doesn't answer my question in any way. Look, I've got limited time. Maybe you can respond in writing. I really do need to know what the difference is between a big C and a lower C cooperating agency. Not defined in law. I've never heard of it before, not in any of your guidance documents, rules, anything like that. But look, I've got to move on. Just respond to that one in writing if you can. Look, the draft plan for the Manti-LaSalle National Forest proposes 122,780 acres of quote-unquote recommended wilderness. This is really concerning to me. Congress passed the Utah Wilderness Act in 1984. It's a product of a long, protracted, hard-fought compromise made by the state of Utah, and it's something that designated wilderness in exchange for assurance that no future Utah wilderness designations would be made. Now, the Forest Service appears to be ignoring this history, and both the state and the individual county resource management plans applicable to that area. The only way we get healthy forests is by having flexibility to perform active management of the forests. It turns out, as we've learned over the last few decades, you let the thing just go. That's terrible for forest health. What we're dealing with throughout Utah is this patchwork of designated wilderness, recommended wilderness, and inventoried roadless areas that make active management a nightmare and frankly, practically unachievable. These updated forest plans will only make the situation worse as you've got them drafted. Can you explain how these new wilderness recommendations were developed and why the state and local counties' input was apparently disregarded completely in the preferred alternative?
Yeah, so the forest supervisor is planning to meet with the county supervisors to cooperate on that forest plan issue.
And how'd that go?
It hasn't taken place yet. They are scheduled to have a meeting to discuss this very issue that you're bringing up. We'll be happy to let you know how they go once the meeting takes place.
Yeah, after the draft plan was released, but before that, it apparently didn't happen that way. I don't know why I should have any assurance that it'll go any better now. Now, look, every single state official and county commissioner that I talk to seems to be increasingly frustrated with the way that the Forest Service with the way the Forest Service manages Forest Service land. All these local officials ask for is a real seat at a real table in these important decisions that have to be made, decisions that affect us, our local communities, very directly, much more directly than they do anybody else. We all want healthy forests, and we all want to avoid catastrophic wildfires. But the consequences of bad policy hit some of us a lot more than they hit others. For example, in both the Ashley and the Manti-LaSalle proposals, the Forest Service appears willing to enter into co-management arrangements with tribes. But it refuses to incorporate state and county comments into the planning process. If the Forest Service can enter co-management arrangements with the tribes, why exactly can't it enter into similar arrangements with county governments and the state government?
Senator, we do honor the county governments, and we do work with them same as we work with tribes. In fact, we probably work more with the county governments than we do tribes.
With co-management? Co-management, the same way you got it with the tribes?
No, it's
not been my experience.
Yeah, well, tribes are sovereign nations, so we deal with them differently than...
Yeah. States also are sovereign. They are co-sovereigns. States are co-sovereigns, and tribes also have their own elements of co-sovereignty.
Senator, we deal with the counties, and we work with the counties. They have a seat at the table, and I'm not sure... I'm not sure we're not doing just exactly what you're saying, because...
Well, I'm certain that you're not. I'm certain that you're not. Look, the 2001 Roadless Rule establishes prohibition on road construction and on timber harvesting on 58.5 million acres of inventoried roadless areas in National Forest Service lands, National Forest System lands. Has the 2001 roadless rule helped or hindered with wildfire mitigation efforts?
I suppose that's going to depend on your perspective, Senator.
Helped or hindered? Which one?
Well, I don't have a say in whether it helps or hinders. You know, I have to.
But you don't, maybe, regardless of what you do, does it? Just describe it. In your assessment, has it helped or hindered wildfire mitigation efforts?
Well, I don't think it was designed to help wildfire mitigation, sir.
Understood. Thank you.